Reimer, the director of FUSE Cobalt. Greg, thank you for being with us. How are you?
I'm great, Michael. Thanks. How are you?
Doing well, Greg. It's a pleasure to have you here. Can you start off by giving us a narrative of your background and giving us some of the details about where you came from?
Sure. Well, I spent 26 years of my career with the British Columbia government here in Canada. The last 5 years, I was the Deputy Minister of Energy, Mines, and Petroleum Resources. So, in that position, I was responsible for provincial mining and energy policy, including, of course, electricity policy. And prior to that, I was the Deputy Minister of Revenue and spent 21 years in the Finance and Revenue Department. So, a long career in the provincial government, doing a lot of different things, but near the end, a significant focus on energy, mining, electricity, both operations and policy. And so from there, I left government and was appointed the Executive Vice President of Transmission and Distribution at BC Hydro. BC Hydro is the electric utility here in British Columbia with the large majority of its generation clean hydropower. In addition to supplying British Columbia with clean electricity, BC Hydro also exports a significant amount of electricity to the United States.
Outstanding. Okay, and we see you recently joined the board for FUSE Cobalt. You've now been appointed to the position of chairman of the board. Can you tell us what drew you to taking on the role to assist FUSE Cobalt? What was the drive here?
Well, as you know, I've got a long history in electricity and mining policy, as well as significant operational roles. And so globally, we see that there's a shift to clean energy, and part of that shift includes the rapidly expanding um, battery industry for electric vehicles. And as you know, cobalt has a key ingredient in the makeup of batteries found in electric vehicles and many other batteries. Actually, we always talk about the EV industry and the batteries for the EV industry, but it also includes cell phones, laptops, and many rechargeable tools. So it's exciting to be part of something new and something so significant. And we've got such a great, capable team here. I'm really happy to be part of it.
Amazing. And can you tell us a little bit about FUSE specifically? What is the company's main focus?
Well, FUSE is a Canadian exploration company with two exploration projects located in the province of Ontario, Canada. These two projects are in an area where cobalt is a primary metal and they adjoin one another, so there's considerable efficiencies there. So we've completed in the past some extensive work in these properties, and both projects have produced mineable grades of cobalt somewhere in excess of 8%. And this year, we continue to drill and expand exploration in our high grade zone, which is our Glencore Buck property. And our second property, the Teledyne property, we might drill this later this year, depending on the availability of resources.
Okay, and then can you tell me a little bit about the history of this region related to mining? Can you give us some of the background there?
Well, sure. Ontario's one of the largest provinces in Canada, but it was once the epicenter for silver and cobalt mining, kind of in the early 1990s. And the town of Cobalt, Ontario, had a booming mining community with over 2,000 men and women working in these mines, producing both silver and cobalt. So to this day, the town is still there. Obviously, has a significant history, and mining is quite prominent in the area. And you can find a museum, like a cobalt mining history museum there. So it's a really mining friendly community, and that's always important to our business.
Got it. Okay, can you explain what you mean by that a little bit more? Dig into the details of the region itself and what you're doing with mining?
So the town of Cobalt has a skilled labor force, and as I said, they've got a storied history in mining, and so there's lots of mining labor that's readily available for exploration projects such as our own. There's power and electricity close to our site, and most importantly, our two drill targets are located a half mile away from a cobalt refinery, which is currently being refurbished to refine cobalt as well as other metals. At the end of the day, Michael, Fuse is positioned really well. I think we're in the right industry at the right time. We've got the right resource, and we're obviously in the right location.
Outstanding. Really good information here. A lot of interesting things to keep an eye on. But Greg Reimer, director of FUSE Cobalt, thank you for joining us and sharing more info.